Today's number, $37 million. Excuse me, not $37 million, 37 million students. There are 37 million student loan borrowers who have been on hold, who have been on pause, and that is all about to change. So we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show because student loans are about to be back on and popping. All right. So, all right, everybody, I'm Kamari Ellis. I'm the finance rebel. Everybody knows me as the guy who always talks about money. My whole channel is all about money. But during the day, I'm a tax accountant. I help people fix their tax problems during the day. And at night, I try to come here and do some financial education with you, whether it be on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. But guess what? I'm banned on Instagram. So like now, I'm like an ex-con, or I guess I am a con because I'm still in jail. But it's kind of weird because I got banned for something on Facebook for something I have absolutely no idea on what I did. Supposedly it was a post from 2020. Who in the world knows what your post is from 2020? But again, I've never been banned for all my time here on Facebook. I've been a model citizen, but I guess that just wasn't enough. But anyway, we have to get the show on the road. No monkey stops the show. So we'll keep on doing what we do. And y'all know every day I do the stock market rundown. I usually cover what's going on with Ukraine and Russia war crisis. Today's stories we're going to cover are the student loan freeze, what's next, and also an update on Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson versus the Republicans. Sadly, the Republicans are showing their behind, but we're going to cover it. We're going to talk about it. All right. So, as always, I'm doing this live here on YouTube, which I usually never do. I usually upload this, but so it'll be a little bit different. And for my folks on Instagram, you might not be able to follow along with a few things because I'm sharing the screen on YouTube. So if you want to see what's going on the screen, just come on over to YouTube. But as always, we are going to get into our market rundown. We are going to talk about what's going on with the stock market, what's going on with Bitcoin, what's going on with gold, and just kind of follow our regularly scheduled programming. All right. So the stock market today is up 4511, 4,511. Now we know the S&P 500 is the stock market representative that I use, and the S&P 500 is the 500 largest stocks in the United States that are publicly traded. Okay. So again, 4511 up about 1%, and the stock market is still down though year to date by 5%, still down 5%. Now oil, some interesting things are going on right now. Oil is trading at 111 bucks, came down a little bit, stock's going up. You know, I always tell y'all to pay attention to correlations and how different asset classes work together. But right now oil is at $111. $111, and oil is still up year to date. It's still kicking butt. It's up 47, almost 48%. Might as well round it up. 47.5%. Like I said, might as well round it up to 48%. So it's still doing good. It's still doing good. It's still raping us at the pump, right? Because oil and gas are highly correlated. When oil goes up, gas tends to go up, right? When oil goes down, gas doesn't always go down, but eventually it will go down after a while. Now, gold closed at $1,921, $1,921. Again, coming down a little bit. It still hasn't seen that $2,000 level in a few days now. And gold is up year to date 4.9%. Might as well say 5%, right? 5%. So now the next chart we're going to look at is Bitcoin. Now, this chart is a little off. This is misleading because it has a negative symbol here because Bitcoin is open all day long, 24/7. And so Bitcoin is up at $42,195. $42,195. Now, the arrow says down, but we know Bitcoin closed yesterday at 41,000 bucks. So Bitcoin's up. Bitcoin's up. Now, I want to tell, well, you know, before I get to that next chart, Bitcoin is still down 8.9%, might as well say 9% year to date. Now, I've been talking about the correlation between Bitcoin and the stock market, or Bitcoin and the S&P 500, for quite some time. And I wanted to show y'all this here. Right? So a lot of times people are investing in Bitcoin because they want to diversify their assets. They want to have something that doesn't move lockstep with the stock market. But I've been kind of pointing out to y'all, like when one moves, the other one is moving. Bitcoin tends to move a little bit more exaggerated. It's a little bit more forceful. It's like stock market movements on steroids a little bit. So when the stock market jumps, Bitcoin tends to jump more. But when the stock market crashes, Bitcoin tends to fall a lot faster. So I have this up on the screen right now. So this is just the year-to-date chart from January 1 or January 3rd till right now. Till today is March 22nd. And so when we go back to the very beginning of the day, the first trading day of the year, we had Bitcoin Bitcoin falling at a negative 5.8% or almost 0.5%. Stock market up a little over 0.5%, right? But as we go along and we look at these reportings, we look at these returns, right? And each one of these returns are daily. And actually, let me blow up the screen to make sure everybody can see it. Hopefully folks can see this, but if not, I'll do my best to communicate it orally so everyone can understand what's going on. All right, so here, January 10th, oops, my screen just refreshed on me out of the blue. That wasn't supposed to happen, but let's give it a moment. What they say, when you go live, everything live is going to go live, or something wrong will go wrong. So this is refreshing now, and it just kind of blew my vibe, sadly, because I was trying to show y'all the correlation between, it just went all over the place. I was trying to show y'all the correlation between Bitcoin and the S&P 500. Now let me go back. I must have hit something wrong. That's my apologies, my fault. So let's start this over from the top. So I am using Wall Street Journal, right? So this isn't my stuff. I'm using the Wall Street Journal. They are plotting this. They're plotting this chart. I'm looking at a chart. It's just a line chart of Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin, and the price of the S&P 500. And I wanted to take a look at it because when you look at it, when you see one price goes down, they both go down. One goes up, they both go up. And so I just wanted to talk about some of the pricing movements and patterns so you all can start paying attention to this a little bit more. All right, so let's go back again. January 12th, Bitcoin fell by 5.41%, or a little under 5.5%, right? The S&P 500 fell by a little under 1%, or 0.84%, or 84 basis points, right? Next day, January 13th, Bitcoin fell by 7.55%. The stock market fell by 2.25%, right? So again, when one falls, the other falls. The next day, all right, January 18th, Bitcoin falls by 8.4%, right? Stock market falls by 3.9%. So you could almost say that was the S&P 500 fell by 4%. The Bitcoin fell by 8.4, almost 8.5%. So Bitcoin is moving at almost a 2.5 times rate. So for example, again, January 24th, Bitcoin fell by 20.45%. The S&P 500 fell by 7.4%. So if you just divide, let's say 7 into 21, 7 goes into 21 3 times, right? So that's about a 2.5%, 2.5 times movement. So this is a good thing for y'all to understand, because again, I know a lot of people are attracted to Bitcoin, and it's cool. I always have conversations with y'all, and I tell y'all that this is not the move for y'all savings, because some of y'all's like, I just want to go all in. I just want to put all my savings into Bitcoin. And I say, no. Pump the brakes. Bitcoin's cool. It's not going anywhere, but it is not good for your savings account. Why? Because it's just too volatile. And so here I'm showing you this volatility, right? So we can fast forward a little bit here. If we look here, February February 9th, right? This year, I'm looking at all this year, Bitcoin fell by 3.9%, almost 4%. The stock market fell by 3.7% or 3.76%, almost 4%, right? So we're seeing a lot of these steps move, or a lot of these movements move in lockstep. But again, with Bitcoin being a bit more exaggerated, but it's still not good. You don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. That is the point of diversification. And that's not what we want to see happen. We want our assets to kind of move. We don't want them to move together. We want them to move while one zigs, the other zags. All right. So here, again, we're looking at it. And, this is crazy. This is crazy. So I just want y'all to keep that in mind, that oftentimes when you're buying some of these assets in the name of diversification, they're not really diversified. They move the same way. If you got true diversification, it's not moving with you the same step of the way. Not all the time, right? Okay. So as we keep going on, that was our stock market rundown. Our Russia-Ukraine crisis update. The Pentagon is saying that Russian forces have shrunk. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if I should believe the Pentagon or what, or if I should believe the news sources or what, but they're saying that their forces have shrunken. And they're saying that in some of the Air Force bases in the South, they are moving out a lot of their aircraft and their helicopters somewhere else. So I don't know if that's a good thing for this crisis. I just wish it would hurry up and go away. It's almost 30 days in, almost a full month in, but it seems like it's not going anywhere. All right, so getting to our main story of the night, right? That 37 million of federal student loan borrowers who got to pause their payments, their student loan payments, because of COVID, because of the pandemic. Everything got shut down. Everybody was locked in the house. Everybody couldn't move or go anywhere. So this is what we're talking about now, because student loan payments the student loan freeze is about to thaw, right? Payments are about to resume. And there's a lot of people that are jacked up. And again, my apologies to the folks over there on Instagram, because this is an article over there on the Wall Street Journal that I'm showing and I'm sharing, or about to share, on the screen. Here we go. So yep, it's already showing on the screen. So I'm a little off balance, y'all, because I'm out of kilter because Facebook kicked me off. But like I said, one monkey don't stop no show. So New York Fed warns delinquencies could grow sharply when payments resume. So delinquency means that people are not going to make their payments, and it's going to be a problem. Even though everything has been stalled, this is a time frame where they're expecting people to start making payments. So a lot of the stimulus, what I'm calling stimulus, like the mortgage moratorium, the rent moratorium, even the student loan moratorium, they're all starting to come out. They're all starting to end. And now, again, people are predicting that this isn't going to end well. It's going to be bad. So here we go. As I share this here, you're not going to be able to see that. All right, there we go. I don't think you can see that one either. So, all right, let me enlarge that one up. So just as a reminder, everybody that's on Instagram, remember I am broadcasting live on Facebook. If you want to see what I have on the screen, if you just want to listen to the sound of my voice narrate what's going on and describe to you what's going on, that's cool too. Either way, we want to rock out. All right, so after 37 million federal student loan borrowers were spared 195 billion in loan payments since the government froze their payments at the onset of the pandemic, and many of them are likely to struggle with their debts when the moratorium is lifted, according to a report released Tuesday by the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. And the Federal Reserve Bank of New York is the most important Federal Reserve Bank out of all the reserve banks across the country. They set a lot of things up. They make a lot of things happen. All right. Borrowers haven't been required to make payments on so-called direct federal student loans. So direct federal student loans are the loans that are directly from the Department of Education that I'm sure many of you have already gotten. All right. And interest rates on those loans have been set to zero. It's probably one of the best things that Congress did during this whole pandemic. since Congress passed emergency legislation in March 2020, a pause that has since been extended through May 1st and could be extended further. All right, so remember, payments don't resume until May 1st. So we still got a little bit of time. I've talked about this before. I've said that everybody should be getting their stuff together just in case that this comes back a lot harder, a lot worse, right? So hopefully you've been saving your money all this time. Hopefully you've been getting prepared. You got some money squirreled away. So when these student loans come back, you won't be caught off guard. You won't be caught off guard. So, all right. So I highlighted this in green because I thought this was really, really poignant. I thought it was really important, right? The bank found borrowers with a certain type of federal loan that is held privately. So these are privately held student loans, not the ones that are held and administered by the Department of Education, right? Who didn't have their payments frozen or had it frozen only briefly by their banks, had a 33% higher delinquency rate on their non-student, non-mortgage debt since late 2020 compared with the direct federal borrowers who remained in forbearance. The author said that they expected federal borrowers who had their payments frozen to have similar trouble managing their debts with the frozen when the freeze ends. So basically what they're saying is that all these folks, well, the folks that have non-federal student loan debts, right? Your private mortgages, your private student loans, the ones that are holding by the banks, saw a lot more people have delinquencies. A lot more people miss payments. A lot more people didn't make payments, right? A lot more people are late with the payments. So this means that this is an indicator, y'all. This means that when they unlock this freeze, or when this freeze falls, it's going to be trouble. It's going to be trouble. So you have to keep that in mind. So y'all know I always talk about economics, stocks, taxes on this channel here. So this is no different. And so here the question is going to be, what's the Biden administration going to do? If anything, they might not do anything, right? Now, as we go along in this, the analysis comes as the Biden administration considers its next step for dealing with the roughly 1.6 trillion federal student loan portfolio. The administration is under pressure from many congressional Democrats and supporters who want the freeze extended beyond May 1st, for what would be the fourth time under President Biden and the sixth time since it was adopted. All right, so 45, the orange monkey extended 2 times. Joe Biden extended 4 times a student loan. So this has been an ongoing problem again since the pandemic started, because people were out of work, businesses shut down, only essential workers could make money, right? Air quotes. Because we know a lot of our folks, a lot of our cousins were still making money doing what they needed to do. So again, a lot of Democrats are pushing for an overhaul, stalling, refreeze, but we'll see. Now, another thing I always tell y'all, if we're going to be about our wealth gain, we also have to be about our political gain, because you cannot separate politics and money. Here we're talking about student loans. This hits people in the pocket every day. How many single moms who have children who went to college, may or may not be working in their given field, still have to pay student loans? So that's less money they have for their children, for food, rent, mortgage, whatever, date night, girls' night, whatever. This is being taken out of their pocket because they got to pay student loans. So keep that in mind, y'all. Like, politics definitely affects your pocketbook and wallet. All right. So here is something else I wanted to show you. Washington State, Patty Murray, Democrat, who leads the Senate Educational Panel, has specifically pushed for a renewed pause into next year to give the administration time to come up with a plan to overhaul the student loan payment system, including some debt forgiveness. Y'all remember Biden said he was going to wipe out some of the student loan debt. He's done some of it. That was kind of already a janky situation anyway. So we got to ride the coattails of that, but he still hasn't delivered on part of that promise or on that promise at all, really. All right. So debt forgiveness, especially for low income borrowers, as well as changes to income based repayment plans and altering how student debt affects consumer credit scores. All right. Top Republicans oppose another extension. Top Republicans oppose another extension. Top Republicans oppose another extension, right? I want y'all to hear that. And earlier this month, 2 GOP representatives introduced a bill to prevent another pause, though it isn't expected to gain traction in a Democratic-controlled House of Representatives. So again, I always say to y'all, wealth, if we about the wealth, if we about accumulating wealth, we got to keep our eyes on politics because politics is going to affect our bottom line. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It does it every time. Now, I know a lot of us don't think that way, don't feel that way, but here I just showed you that it's true, and we showed two parties. And for the record, right, I just want y'all to be clear. Both parties are trash, as it relates to the black people. When I'm on this microphone and I'm talking 9 times out of 10, I'm talking about how it relates to black people, right? Just to be clear. Democrats treat black folks poorly. Republicans treat black people poorly. This is all historical facts. You can go do fact checks. I always tell you, don't just believe me. Go do your own research. Go do your own research. So when you hear some of these talking puppets say that the Democratic plantation is this, yeah, they've done some bad stuff. But what alternative are we looking for? Are we talking about the Republicans as an alternative? Okay, cool. They're a plantation too, and they're trash as well. They're both trash. So, when anybody tries to say one is better than the other, they are being paid more than likely by someone. So keep your antennas up and ready. All right. So listen, again, if you had a chance to benefit from the student loan freeze, please take a moment, save some of that money. Or if you have not, right? If you have not, put some aside because we don't know what's going to happen. We have a little bit over a month to see what's going to happen. Hopefully something will give way, where it'll give people a little bit more relief, which will be good. I think the way they handle student loans is totally ridiculous. You would think the same amount of support they give for mortgages, because mortgages are subsidized in this country, they would give for student loans. And student loans are subsidized too, but it seems like mortgages get way more sway than student loans. Just take a look at the interest rates. Typically, not right now because interest rates for student loans are zero, but typically student loan rates are much higher than mortgage rates. So you would think they would either be the same as mortgage rates or maybe even a little bit lower, because typically the people getting student loans are fresh out of college. They haven't made any money. They're just now getting to be quote unquote productive citizens. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right. So the next story I wanted to talk about is how the Republicans are trying to dog the new black nomination for the Supreme Court justice seat, Miss Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. And it's actually really sad. So I actually have a couple of clips here that I want to play. I want to talk about because your boy Raphael is at it again. And if y'all don't know who Raphael is codenamed Ted Cruz. Right? Ted Cruz's real name is Raphael Cruz. But he gets
to be made to feel as though.
But I want to talk about this, and I've talked about this on the show before. This whole farce about CRT, about critical race theory, is actually really sad. I will say this though. The Republicans, I don't know if I should call them genius or if I should say that they're just maniacal. I don't know which word to use, because they can take an issue, flip the issue, and then make this, let me back it up. They can take a non-issue, flip the non-issue, and actually make it an issue. Again, they can take a non-issue, flip it, make it a real issue, and make it a part of the zeitgeist, a part of media, a part of voting issues, which has happened with CRT, or critical race theory. And I don't think any of them have ever read anything about critical race theory, or they're just all in denial about the history here in the United States of America. But with that said, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Let me do this real quick. All right, here we go.
If you look at the Georgetown Day School's curriculum, it is filled and overflowing with critical race theory. That among the books that are either assigned or recommended, they include Critical Race Theory, an introduction. They include The End of Policing, an advocacy for abolishing police. They include How to Be an Anti-Racist by Ibram Kendi. They include literally stacks and stacks of books, and I'll tell you two of the ones that were most stunning. They include a book called Anti-Racist.
This is hilarious to me, because clearly, Raphael has not done his own work. But let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Baby by Ibram Kendi. And there are portions of this book that I find really quite remarkable. One portion of the book says babies are taught.
So my man's got blow-ups. He went and blew up the book. And I actually think everybody should get this book. But I want y'all to, again, listen closely to what Raphael's talking about.
To be racist or anti-racist, there is no neutrality. Another portion of the book, they recommend to babies confess when being racist. Now, this is a book that is taught at Georgetown Day School to students in pre-K through second grade, so 4 through 7 years old. Do you agree with this book that is being taught with kids that babies are racist?
Now, this part is so telling. Now, to give y'all a little bit of backstory as well, right? Judge Jackson actually went to Harvard with Raphael, or Ted Cruz, Senator Ted Cruz. Don't let me be disrespectful, right? So Senator Raphael Cruz and Judge Jackson actually went to Harvard Law School together. They knew each other. They went on a Harvard Review together. So some of that is going to play out here, but I believe you'll see it. Tell me what y'all think. Tell me what y'all think.
Senator,
y'all see the pause, right? So y'all know what happens when a black woman is pausing, because black women never have to pause when they are having a debate, discussion, or argument.
I do not believe that any child should be made to feel as though they are racist, or though they are not valued, or though they are less than, that they're victims, that they are oppressors. I don't believe in any of that. But what I will say is that when you asked me whether or not this was taught in schools, critical race theory, my understanding is that critical race theory as an academic theory is taught in law schools. And to the extent that you were asking the question, I understood you to be addressing public schools. Georgetown Day School, just like the religious school that Justice Barrett was on the board of, is a private school.
Okay, so you agree critical race theory is taught at Georgetown Day School?
I don't know, because the board is not, the board does not control the curriculum. The board does not.
This isn't what they do. This is not what a board position handles at this school. You would think Raphael would have done his research, Senator Raphael would have done his research before wasting the tank and killing the trees to blow up these boards, to bring up this forest. But listen.
Focus on that. That's not what we do as board members. So I'm actually not sure.
Abby Phillip, the GOP has been telegraphing.
So she's not sure. That's not what they do. It's interesting. But I do like this commentator from CNN. I think she adds a little bit more color to this, and I think we all could get something from it. And I know the Republicans hate CNN, but I feel this was fair and balanced.
that this punch would come. They tweeted out, scratching out KBJ and instead writing CRT. What do you think about this exchange we just watched?
Her pause at the beginning of her answer really said it all in terms of just the level of frustration that it seemed that she had even while she was answering the questions in an incredibly, sort of judicious manner. But this is exactly the kind of thing that I think some Republicans have been concerned about, because one of the problems with Senator Cruz's questioning of her along these lines was that he asked her about Georgetown Day School, and it gave her an opportunity to explain that when she talks about social justice in relation to Georgetown Day School, it is because that school was founded explicitly to integrate schools during a time when the law required that public schools be racially segregated. So he kind of teed up a softball for her.
So again, it was very much nonsensical, very much nonsensical. Now, I wanted to expand on this, right? Because I feel like sometimes some of these political charades are shown out there. They disparage people and there's no context. There's no real context given. So I'm always about context. I love nuance. I think most of the arguments and discussions or not discussions, but most of the arguments and disagreements would disappear if you just take 5 minutes and just grab a little bit of nuance, get a little bit of context, and look at some things. So I wanted to add a little bit of context to this and talk about why this is BS. All right. So here is a sister. Here's a sister who is reading the book. Now, I want y'all to tell me, does this book seem like it's a bad thing or a good thing? Y'all let me know. Now, you know what? I've been having problems. I've been having problems with my audio, y'all. I've been having problems with my audio. So let me get my audio right. The other day, I thought I had my audio right, and I still didn't have it right. But let me make sure I got it right, so I can share this and everybody can hear it and follow along, and we get to have a conversation about this.
Miss Milan. The title of our book today is Anti-Racist Baby, written by Ibram X. Kendi.
Everybody do me a favor, put a 1 in the comments in the chat if you can hear me. Put a 1 in the comments in the chat if you can hear me. Thank you.
Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get started. Anti-racist baby is bred, not born. Anti-racist baby is raised to make society transform. Babies are taught to be racist or anti-racist. There's no neutrality.
So that's the part Raphael had his panties in a bunch about, right? When he talked about being anti-racist, clearly he doesn't understand what being anti-racist is, because he's so enthralled with racist white supremacist society that he can't understand anything being like actually fair or clued into equality. But being anti-racist means that you are actively, not this I don't see color nonsense. I'm actively working towards not being a racist. And here is a book that is teaching young children this, and he's demonizing this book because he's trying to make it seem like it's crazy. All right, but let's go on. Let's go on, because like I said, I always like to add context. I always got to add context.
Take these 9 steps to make equity a reality.
Y'all heard that, right? Make equity a reality. Make equity a reality. So Raphael Cruz, Senator Ted Cruz has a problem with equity being a reality. I find this laughable, because everybody likes to go around and say America's so great, America's so this, but every black person watching this broadcast with me right now knows that there's at least 2 Americas, right? There's a black America and there's a white America. And in black America, we don't get to do what white America does. We don't get the same luxuries and privileges that white America does, if you're black. Now, some would say that they're not black, they're OJ, and that's okay. But most of us understand that that's not the reality for the majority of us. So let's keep on with this. Let's keep on with this.
1. Open your eyes to all skin colors. Anti-racist baby.
Open your eyes to all skin colors. This is what he has a problem with.
Learn all the colors, not because race is true. If you claim to be colorblind, you deny what's right in front of you.
If you claim to be colorblind, you're denying what's right in front of you, right? So it pisses me off when people say that they don't see color. That's a lie. If you're colorblind, well, then maybe we can have that conversation. But me being black, or if you want to call me brown or caramel, right? That doesn't make me any less than a human, right? You being white, Caucasian, or beige doesn't make you any less of a human either. That's what this book is talking about. This is what the senator from Texas has a problem with. I bring this up because I feel it's important for us to have nuanced conversations. There's too many of us having these black and white conversations, no pun intended, right? Black and white conversations, and we really get lost in the sauce. But it's guys like him that really are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and just really doesn't have a clue. Doesn't have a clue at all. But all right, let's go back to it.
2. Use your words to talk about race. No one will see racism if we only stay silent. If we don't name racism, it won't stop being so violent. 3. Point at policies as the problem, not people. Some people.
Wow. Point at policies and not people. Point at policies and not people. Y'all know that's kind of my mantra here. That's why I don't really talk about people. I like to talk about ideas and not people, even if I'm critiquing those ideas. But here we are. What problem, and I don't want to keep playing this, right? Everybody should go buy this book, right? Anti-Racist Baby by Ibrahim Kendi. Again, Anti-Racist Baby by Ibrahim Kendi. If somebody could grab that link for me and throw it in the chat, I would appreciate it so I can share it. I want to actually buy it and buy it for my grandchildren as well. But I don't see what the problem is for that if we are truly sincere in approaching a society that's based on equality. There's only an issue if we want it to stay lopsided the way it is currently, because clearly all the stats show that white folks get more than black folks. White unemployment is lower than black unemployment. White wealth is higher than black wealth, right? White incarceration is lower than black incarceration. All of these stats, all of these figures, all this data shows that something is fundamentally wrong with the system. But here it is, the guy, the Trumpite, because he's also a Trump guy, and Trump just smacked him around too, just disrespected him, and he still fell in line. Just shows how much of a spineless person he is. But again, I'm not going to go too deep into that. And I know y'all don't like it when I talk politics without any of the money stuff, right? But that's why we got the money stuff out of the way. And I always want to make y'all understand, or get y'all to see, not make y'all understand because I'm not your parent, but at least it illustrate that politics affects your money more than you realize, right? So now we're talking about Judge Jackson, right? Her becoming the first black woman on the bench. And she's not the other black guy that's on the bench. She's black, right? I think that's clear to see. I think you can see that in her posture, in her tenure. She was key in helping to tear down the crack cocaine bill. She's done a lot of work. Whether you like politics or not, you can't deny the record. And so there's another piece on there that they've been trying to flaunt. And talk crazy about, which is which is again really sad, Hold on, I'm going to find it. There's another clip I want to share with you all. Now, this one is a little bit longer, but I'm not going to go through all of it. But this one is talking about.
Missouri has in his tweets said of your.
This one is talking about how she allegedly is soft on crime. Now, y'all know the Republicans always got to have their talking points to say, oh, we're hard on crime, But their main guy was a known felon. Their main guy was a known crook, but they're so hard on crime. And D. Charles, I don't know why she was in the jungle. That's funny, though.
Position on this.
Now, this is Dick Durbin. Dick Durbin is the Judiciary Chair, right? So he's the guy that's in charge of judge placements in the Senate, right? So he's a very important figure in the Senate. He's a Democrat, and he's been kind of teeing up Judge Ketanji Brown and everything that has been going on since they started yesterday. Now, here, he wanted to respond because one of the senators from Missouri said something crazy out their mouth, as they always do, something unfactual, as they always do. And so here they just wanted to lay it out. And this one right here is a good one. This lady is clearly qualified for this job. But let's check this out.
This issue. Judge Jackson has a pattern of letting child porn offenders off the hook for their appalling crimes, both as a judge and a policymaker. She's been advocating it since law school. This goes beyond soft on crime, the senator said. I'm concerned this is a record that endangers our children. I thought about his charges as I watched you and your family listening carefully yesterday, and what impact it might have had on you personally to know that your daughters, husband, parents, family, and friends were hearing the charges that your implementation of this law, sentencing, endangered children.
So this right here, this is talking about how she's quote unquote soft on crime, right? And this guy from Missouri, I got to look his name up, how he said that she was soft on crime, especially as it relates to child porn. And this lady is a mother, right, and a wife and a daughter, and this is the charge that they brought up. I mean, so a lot of times these folks have no floor, right? They will go as low as possible. Forget about what Michelle Obama said, right? When they go low, they go even lower. They don't even know what high is, and it's not in their vocabulary at all. It's not in their vocabulary at all.
Children. Could you tell us what was going through your mind at that point?
Thank you, Senator. As a mother and a judge who has had to deal with these cases, I was thinking that nothing could be further from the truth. These are some of the most difficult cases that a judge has to deal with, because we're talking about pictures of sex abuse of children. We're talking about graphic descriptions that judges have to read and consider when they decide how to sentence in these cases. And there's a statute that tells judges what they're supposed to do. Congress has decided what it is that a judge has to do in this and any other case when they sentence. And that statute doesn't say, look only at the guidelines and stop. The statute doesn't say, impose the highest possible penalty for this sickening and egregious crime. The statute says, calculate the guidelines, but also look at various aspects of this offense and impose a sentence that is, quote, sufficient but not greater than necessary to promote the purposes of punishment.
So y'all hear that right? Federal judges, and a lot of people know this, I'm sure many of you in the audience already know this because y'all are smart. Y'all aren't on the slow bus like some of the Republicans are. But sentencing guidelines, they can't leave sentencing guidelines. They can't go away. They can't just, federal judges can't just pick and choose what they want to sentence a person for, right? No matter what the crime is. Each crime has its own level of sentencing guidelines, whether it's 5 years, whether it's 5 months, whether it's 50 years. And so as she just went through that there, she talked about how she went through and followed the guidelines, right? Because some of the other things that they were talking about and were asking her is, can she follow the law, right? Is she a constitutionalist? Or will she put her personal feelings in front of everything else? So how would a mother feel about judging someone who's been charged with child pornography, who's been found guilty of child pornography? I know I couldn't judge that case, and I tried to be objective at all costs. And so even with me trying to be objective, I know I couldn't judge that case. There's no way in hell that I could judge that case. I would be impartial. I would be biased. I would want to see that person burn. I think your average parent would want to see that person burn. Here she did that. She followed the guidelines. But Republicans are wanting to make a mockery of this whole show and drag the black woman down. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So I know I'm way over time for these daily numbers. I appreciate y'all being here with me, but I got a question for y'all, right? Would y'all rather me do my daily, I call it the daily number, right? So would you rather me do our daily numbers here live, or would you rather see them pre-recorded? Now, the reason why I started to do these live is because YouTube shows no love to the lives. And I'm cool with that. I'm totally cool with that. And when I say no love, the algorithm won't share it out with people, because the algorithm kind of dictates who gets to see it, who doesn't get to see it, where's it going to go. The algorithm tends to give me more love when it comes to my pre-recorded videos over here on YouTube. I prefer live, because I come from radio. And so I'm kind of used to that. I'm conditioned for that. But I've been trying to see if I can get YouTube to show me a little bit more love. So it's rough. It's rough. So y'all chime in, because this is a little bit different. This daily number is a little bit different, right? Because part of the thing is, I always talk to y'all about, we should be studying money daily, right? We spend money daily. We should be thinking about how we can make money daily, how we can be productive with our money daily. And so that's the whole reason why I do these shows and all together. So y'all tell me, what would y'all like to see? Would y'all like to see lives, or would you like to see pre-recorded? Or you can say, I don't care. You can say, I don't care. But let me go through. Now, see, what I can't do, though, is I can't make these like Wealthy Wednesdays, though, because y'all know on Wealthy Wednesdays, I'll be here with y'all for 3 hours. I can't do that. I got work to do, y'all. But I am committed to coming here and doing these daily and talking about money in a way that we normally would see other people talk about it, our people talk about it. So, and I'm cool with that, because normally when you talk about money, it's really dry, it's really germane, it's no flavor, there's no character in it whatsoever. It's just the numbers. So y'all tell me, would y'all want to see this live? And tell me, have y'all been following the daily number? Have y'all enjoyed it? Drop your thoughts in the comments. But I'm gonna just go through and say what's up to everybody. All right, so Hank Lawton says, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson, Republicans be doing you wrong, girl. He ain't lying. Hank is telling the whole truth. Melody Lawton, what's up, brother? How you been, man? Ain't seen you in a while. Northern Bell's here. All right, so Northern Bell is in the building. All right, Jerry from Los Angeles. Jerry, why do you always announce it from Los Angeles? I think everybody knows you from LA right now. All right, Stephen says, what's good, bro? Let's see. I couldn't read that. Hold on, give me what's good, bro? How you not gotta ask you this? Since we talking money and politics, is this current administration going to hold up like this for 2 more years? I think so. I think it'll be fine. It's going to be rough, but this administration is definitely better than the last administration. Without a question of a doubt, it's way better. So, but listen, the pandemic between the economic stuff that's going on with supply chain shortages, with inflation, right? Inflation's going crazy with rising interest rates, with rising home prices. Like, we really have a perfect storm here. This is actually probably worse than when Obama got in office. All right, so y'all could all hear it. Y'all said y'all could hear it. Now, I was cracking up about this, D. D. Charles says, why is she reading this book in the jungle? Tell them birds to be silent. That was hilarious. That was hilarious. Brand Savant, what's up, Ryan? I'm actually broadcasting live on YouTube and IG at the same time, but I'm putting some things up on the screen. So if you want to join me over on YouTube, come on over. So I was telling you all that I got kicked off. Well, not kicked off. I guess I got put on punishment by Facebook, because what I normally do, my normal process is I'll go live on Facebook, and then I'll take those pre-recorded and I'll put them up on YouTube, because I don't talk as much on Facebook. I've been trying to keep them tight. I've been trying to keep them to like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Well, here we have 50 minutes. We probably are going to touch an hour today. So this is our longest daily number ever. All right. So, all right. Naisha's in the building. How are you doing? Yeah. Northern Bell says she doesn't think she could. She don't think she could judge that case. I get it. I totally get it. I couldn't either. All right. So Jerry says both. So I asked the question, would y'all like me to do these live or pre-recorded? Right. So Jerry says both. Northern Bell says live. Okay. But either. All right. So Northern Bell is cool with me. All right. Jose says I prefer the lives. And the Facebook trash for banning you for 30 days. Yeah, Facebook banned me for 30 days. They banned me for doing lives and for advertising on Facebook for 30 days. I can post, but it's like I go live over there. But my focus is turning towards YouTube anyway, so I don't mind YouTube. But again, I just been trying to figure out what the algorithm wants from me. And the algorithm is, though people talk about it like it's God, it's really not. The algorithm is just saying what people want. Algorithm, if you substitute algorithm for people or audience, is really what the audience wants. So if we get enough people to show love to the lives, I'm sure it would get shared out with more folks. Jerry says I like both. Okay. All right. So Creation by Night, she says both, because there may be something you want to talk about at the moment, and then if you pre-record, you'll be going over specific topics and responses won't be live. Yeah, listen, I am from radio, right? The reason why I've always loved radio, right? I've always loved radio. I was one of these nerd kids. I was listening to talk radio when I was like 13 or 14. I'm a hip hop head. I'm an R&B head. Love music, but I was listening to talk radio in Philadelphia. And so one of the first shows was from a guy. What is his name? Reggie Bryant. Reggie Bryant was his name. And the name of his show was Catharsis. I'll never forget that. It came on 90.1 WRTI at the point. I know a lot of y'all are from Philly, but I bring it up to say that I remember that. And to give y'all a little bit more of gleam into me, the Point, 90.1, the Temple station, by the way, I am a Temple alum, is a jazz station during the day. Like Sundays they play classical. So I'm a 13, 14-year-old kid listening to jazz, right? And I'm listening to this radio station. So that shows me a lot. And I love jazz. But yes, shout out to Ryan. Yes. So radio, though, once I got a chance, because doing radio kind of was like my dream come true. At some point, I was able to get my own show on AM talk radio, black radio station in Philadelphia. And I just fell in love with the engagement. I fell in love with the callers. I fell in love with the audience. And so I love doing the live. The live is like all day long. And so sadly, I do have to run my business. Now, I always say this as a joke. If I was ever able to get paid to work at like NPR, I would do it. But listen, if I was ever able to get paid enough to just do content and do it live, I would consider it doing it full time. I would strongly consider doing it full time. So, all right. So Ryan says, and shout out to Ryan, Brand Savant. Y'all check out the Hustle TV. Ryan, is Hustle TV on YouTube also? It's definitely on Instagram. So y'all check out Ryan. Ryan posts a lot of dope stuff. All right, so Ryan says live stream pre-recorded is when you have past productions, have post-production needs. Yeah, I would do a little bit of post. I would do a little bit of post, not a whole lot, because it's daily. I didn't have a lot of time to do it. I'm in the height of tax season. And so I said, all right, I'll give this a try, because a couple people brought it up, and I was like, all right, let me try this. Let me try this daily thing. And I've kind of done it playing before, but never seriously. Like now it's serious. There's some formatting involved, and me finding it, and just me trying to deliver the information so everybody can get it and make it useful, right? Because it's one thing to just regurgitate the news. It's another thing to try to deliver the news and give it to you so you can use it, right? I'm talking about interest rates and inflation because I want y'all to get ready, because prices are going to continue to go up. We're going to need some strategies to survive this. Now, we'll be fine. We can get through it. If Black folks can get through slavery, we can definitely get through some inflation. But we still need some strategy, and I feel like we can talk about that here as well. So, all right, well, y'all let me know. Y'all, it seems like y'all like the lives. Y'all like the lives. I'm not doing 2-hour and 3-hour lives, though. I'm not doing it Wednesday like I do Wednesday. But maybe what I'll do is, here's another question for y'all. What time would you like these to be? Because normally I come on at about 8 o'clock-ish. Do y'all like that time frame for the lives or the pre-recordeds? Y'all tell me. Throw it in the chat. And I told you, y'all not going to have me here all night. Y'all not going to have me here all night. But yeah, there's a plethora of stuff. There's a myriad of stuff that I could talk about. I mean, I could really just pull up. I could go to Google and type in money or finance and find something to talk about, find something that I think is interesting, find something that I feel will bring you some value daily. And I think we can have a good time. But again, it would be rough. All right, so Naisha is from LA. And so she says LA 6 p.m. So you like the 6 p.m. time. So when it's 6 p.m. in LA, I believe it is 9. I believe it's 9. Let me see. I think it's 9. I think that's 9 Eastern. I always get them confused. Help me out, y'all. All right, Northern Bell likes 8. Oh, it's 7. Okay, it's 7 p.m. in LA right now. Jose likes 8. It's a break from studying that relates to my coursework. Okay. All right, so Naisha, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time works for you, because 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time would be, so you're 3 hours behind, right? So that would be 6 for you. No, Ryan, it's not 10. Well, yes, it is 10. I got going late today because when I was going late, I was having all these technical issues with Facebook. And so I thought I could go live, and they're like, no, nobody. All right, so since Jose's all right, because Jose doesn't like my sound effects. Do y'all like my horn, or do y'all hate my horn? Do y'all like any of my sound effects? I like the sound effects, right? It makes me feel like radio. It makes me feel like radio. All right, so it's 10:09. We've been on for a little under an hour. So, all right, so I was trying to keep these less than 15 minutes. If we do these lives, I know I'm going to start running my mouth. And they're going to go a lot longer. So what time, how long do you think these should go? Should they be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes? I mean, all of y'all been here with me for the last hour. And I know Wealthy Wednesdays it kind of ebbs and flows, right? It kind of ebbs and flows. So some days it's 2 people on, some days it's 50 people on. It also depends on who I have also. All right, Jose, I think you might have been outvoted, brother. Jerry from LA, Jerry, this is my brother from Los Angeles, that says, please continue with the sound effects. All right. Please, I love when you hit the horn. All right. All right. All right. All right. So Untamed Kengo says, I have to turn my volume down when you toot the horn. I mostly use earbuds. All right. So I have turned it down. I have turned it down. So I'll keep that in mind. I don't want to be blowing out nobody's earbuds. I don't want none of y'all sending me no bills from no hospital, no doctor's things. All right. But I don't know. I'm gonna take this live on the engagement. But all right, before we run, how long should these shows be? Because sometimes y'all keep me here all night and I ain't had no vittles. I gotta get me some vittles. Matter of fact, I gotta get me some vittles now. I ain't ate yet. I have not eaten yet. So how long? And we will get ready to wrap up. Now let's see here. All right, so again, remember, I don't think I mentioned this at all, right? This is the Finance Rebel Show. I'm Kamari Ellis. This is the daily number segment. If I do this live daily, we will probably move Wealthy Wednesdays to Wealthy Saturdays or Wealthy Conversation Saturdays. Because me getting ready for two shows in a day, I won't get any work done. Oh, Jose, so you do like the longer format. Y'all know YouTube is not going to show me any love for 30 to 40 minutes. Now remember, I'm trying to get to 10K. And a couple people have suggested I might be able to get to 100K. Now I don't do it for the numbers, but the numbers do show me that I'm at least moving in the right direction and I'm having an impact. All right, maybe playing for 15. Northern Bell says maybe playing for 15. It will probably end up longer. Yes. All right. So Beyond Beauty says 1 to 2 hours, depending on what you're speaking on. If it's a deep topic, longer. You don't want me. I gotta make some money. I gotta put some food on the table. Y'all gonna have me homeless, right? I gotta pay the bills. All right, so Northern Bell says add 15 minutes to whatever you choose. Northern Bell, I appreciate your support, but I like it when people have opinions. I like it, and it's okay. We a community, so I want folks to talk up. All right. So do me a favor, just in case. If Facebook decides to kick me off, if YouTube decides to kick me off, text me, join the text community, 215-974-0058, 215-974-0058, 215-974-0058, all right? And then I will be sure to share these out daily before I go live. Yeah, that schedule works. It can work. 8 o'clock will be the time. Dailies and the Wealthy Conversations on Saturday. So what I would do with Saturdays would be conversations with other what I feel are interesting people, and also deeper topics, right? So what Naisha's talking about, doing deeper subjects, breaking out the slide deck, not teaching from the slide because I hate that. Breaking out the slide deck. Now tell me something. Would y'all want some of the slides when I create them? Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, sir. So if I go live daily, then I'm going to have to find some time to do some pre-records, though. Because again, the algorithm does not like my lives. It might like some other people's lives, but it doesn't like my lives. How much is the investment club? We'll probably start at $25 a month. And I've kind of pretty much mapped that out. I'll be rolling it out in the next week or two. So, all right, I'm going to strongly consider what y'all said. I'm going to strongly consider what y'all said. All right. Um, y'all trying to make me work. All right. Again, listen, y'all join the text community because I don't own any of these platforms, right? These platforms historically don't like our kind of folk. All right. So listen, text me 215-974-0058. Join the community so we can stay in touch and that we don't have to be in communication just when I'm going onto these broadcasts. Now, I'm not always able to text, but I do text pretty often, right? And it's not a robot. It's not a program. It is me and why. So, all right, so cool. All right, cool. Listen, all my stuff, like my stuff's never really going to be crazy in terms of pricing, right? Because I do this for the community. I really do this for the culture. And so I'm not really trying to charge it out the wazoo. This is for learning, like learning. Now, even when you look at college, I'm a big college fan. I'm a big school fan. I'm a big education fan. But college, like the price of college is bananas. It's crazy. They can't be saying they want the people to learn and be learned and become scholarly. Not with these prices. Hey, Katisa, how you doing? I think I got your name right this time. All right, so Jose says if you opt for wealthy conversations on Saturday, limit the dailies to 20 minutes. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And minimums of 5 minutes for questions. Oh, so you think you want to do questions during the dailies? Huh. Naisha, I do have an ebook that's ready to go. It's funny you should bring, well, just about ready to go. It's about Black wealth. People keep asking me for it, so yes, I do need to put it out. I'm gonna have to let go of some things. All right, Jose says this way the Saturday conversations can be in depth and participatory. Yes. Jerome, what's up, Jerome? Mark Millions, how are you? All right. So Jose, you think still 5 minutes Q&A on the dailies? Is that what your suggestion, brother? Now I'm gonna be totally honest. There's going to be some days I can't do any Q&A at all, and I will probably let you know that up front if I do it. I haven't said yes just yet. I haven't said yes just yet. So I'm cool with 8 o'clock. So listen, y'all do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications, right? Also subscribe to the text community as well. Now, sometimes I don't be wanting to bug people in the text community because I don't want to just send out text like, hey, how you doing? How's your Tuesday going? Because I feel that's kind of cheesy, right? But I'm also like that in real life. Like, I don't call people unless I have something to really talk to them about. I'm not and I've always struggled with this, but I'm not the what do they call it? Short convo kind of guy, not short convo, but I'm not the guy that just shoots the breeze with you like that. I'm calling you for a reason. I'm calling you for something important. All right, so Jose said yes, only if they are directly related to the daily. Otherwise, skip the Q&A. Yeah. Some days I might do it, some days I won't. All right, so Beyond Beauty says I'm really ready to learn and be consistent with educational material I do best. Okay. All right, so I'm guessing you're saying that you would want the slide deck if I do a slide deck. Okay. So all right, so this is what I'll do. You got to be in the text community. I will put that out in advance so you can get that in advance. And then I guess I'll still let people know, but it'll be later. So if we want to make it as participatory and as thoughtful as possible, I will try to get the slides out ASAP. All right. Well, we have the makings of a plan. I'm not sure if I'm ready yet. What I will say though is we're definitely going to move. Let's move wealthy conversations to Saturday. So no wealthy conversations tomorrow, but there will be a daily tomorrow. We will have our daily show tomorrow. We will have our daily show. All right, so I'm 10 minutes over time. All right, I appreciate the super chats. Thank you, Jerry, and thanks for rocking with me, y'all. Again, I appreciate y'all. All right, always be loved, and remember, always seek the light, y'all. Until next time, I will see y'all tomorrow. Kamari Ellis out. Do me a favor, share, like, subscribe to the channel, and y'all be great. Later.